Hey, how are you
Hello.
guys?
Hello, hello.
Hey, Brian.
All right, so who's Matthew and who's Barry?
And I'm Barry.
All right, great to see you guys. Thanks so much for joining us.
Likewise, thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure. So you guys are dads through independent adoption.
Yes, we are.
Indeed.
By the way, I know it's late. Is Abby, are we going to get to see her at all? Or is she asleep already?
She just went to sleep.
All right. We'll show photos afterwards. Then,
She was getting to that cranky place where we were afraid that it was not going to go well if we kept her.
I totally get that. And you know what? My kids are 12 and 13, and I still get that cranky place. So tell us, how did you guys come to adoption as your path to fatherhood?
Yeah, so we decided before the pandemic that we were going to go do adoption. And here in New York, you have the ability to do independent adoption, and we decided to try it on our own.
So independent adoption means you're not using an agency.
Correct.
And so tell us a little bit about what that was like and how you came up with your handle and all that.
Sure. Yeah. We the first part, of course, was to become certified, and after we found a lawyer here in New York to guide us through the process, a family lawyer, an adoption lawyer, his recommendation was to do that certification process through a social worker licensed by the state. So we found someone, happened to be affiliated with an organization, but our relationship with them was limited just to working with that social worker. And sort of when we put our heads together, you know, what does an agency do for you? That they help you with a match, they work on your marketing, they try to sell who you are to potential birth mothers. And we sort of looked at each other and we said, you know, we can probably come up with that on our own. And so we put our heads together, we created a creative hashtag and all of that. And, you know, we were able to ultimately work with a consultant who was really able to sort of help us through social media, mostly Facebook, but other platforms as well, like Instagram, find our match in a birth mom. And our handle, since you mentioned very quickly, you mentioned we're huge Disney fans. So, you know, searching for our Mouseketeer was the ultimate way to go in that sense. Spoke to who we were as Disney. We actually did a photo shoot at the parks in Orlando with a onesie that we had made up that had that name on it, which was really, really fantastic. And we've since rebranded that page now that we've found our Mouseketeer as Two Dads and a Mouseketeer.
Oh, that's really great. So I do want to say, I'm curious, did your consultant help vet potential birth moms, or did you guys do that on your own, or how'd that work?
Yeah, so our consultant came in, and I thought we were doing like a good job, and she came in and just ripped everything up and started over again. And we had our own pages, and then she basically took some of the photos that we worked on in the profile, and then she kind of made up her own pages. She said she needed a couple of months of advertising, and sure enough, within I think it was 2 or 3 months, Abby's birth mother reached out to her. She started the conversation, and then when she felt that this was like an actual someone real and that there was a good fit, she then said, "Oh, I'm going to connect you to Matt and Barry," and then we took over the conversation from there.
That's great. So one of the concerns I have with people who do independent adoption is that they're vetting phone calls with birth moms. And my husband and I did that for 3 days. We signed up with an adoption agency. You know, our son is now 13 years old, 14 years old. And I did it for 3 days. I took calls, and I was like, that's it. This is the worst experience of my life. I have no idea what I'm doing. I do not want to be vetting these calls. So I'm glad to hear that you guys didn't either. That's awesome. So tell me, is it an open adoption or?
Yes, and also, and to your prior comment, we also started, before we had our consultant, we were vetting a lot of them like ourselves, and that caused a lot of arguments between the two of us. Yeah. So we quickly decided to pass it on to the lawyer and consultant.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, it's just we actually had so again, my son's 14, so it was before he was born. It was old-fashioned. We had I called it a bat phone. We had like a red phone.
Right.
The one you had first. And whenever it rang, we were like panicked. Oh my God, you answer it. He's like, no, you answer it. So that's
we had some of those fights too. That sounds familiar.
So tell us. So you said it's an open adoption.
Yeah. So it's an open adoption. We have communication with Abby's birth mother from South Carolina. And it's kind of in her court right now. You know, we have reached out. We sent some pictures in South Carolina, we had to hire a lawyer down there for her. And it was a social worker that we worked with through this agency, through this law firm. And we also update them. So she can either go to them for updates or she can come to us. And, you know, we're kind of, it's I guess, a wait and see type relationship.
I think in a perfect world, we envisioned, you know, more regular communication and you know, potentially periodic visits and things like that. And it's, for now, at least, not what our birth mom has wanted. But we hope she'll come around. The door always remains open. We, you know, try to reach out to her once or twice a year just to say we're thinking of you, just to sort of keep that connection line open. But yeah, we'll see how things unfold as we go on.
Great. Well, you guys are mentors for GWK Academy. If I can do a quick commercial interruption, someone watching who doesn't know what GWK Academy is, that's our app or our platform to help gain career men become dads. And one of the many benefits is that we connect you with mentors, dads who've recently gone through the same path that you're about to, and you guys are adoption mentors, which we're so grateful to have you on. I'm curious, so what made you decide that you wanted to become mentors? Did you do you have a chance to speak to other gay dads before, while you're on your journey, or did you not and you wished you had? I'm curious if you could share about that.
Yeah, I think we didn't really know many gay dads before this process. So when someone introduced me to you, Brian, I was like, you know what, we definitely wanted to reach out, because if we could make this a little easier for other dads, I think that was really our driving force behind that.
That's really great, and we appreciate it, and it's true. And everyone our mentors are. So I'm curious, what's one piece of advice you have now for dad, either for guys who are getting ready to start their own adoption journey, or who are in the midst of it and just, you know, waiting?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most challenging piece of this whole process for me was believing that something was going to go wrong, that something was not going to play the way it worked out. You know, I thank God Matt and my mother went shopping for baby clothes and had things lined up and didn't even tell me about it, because I was not ready to believe that we were coming home with this child until all the paperwork was signed. I was still waiting for that other shoe to drop. So, you know, my advice would be to, yes, listen to that possibility that things don't work out, but don't let it cripple you so much, to me, that you're not prepared when it does happen.
And I think also for me too, it was like there's a whole lot of paperwork, especially when you're living in New York. And just when you think you finished with paperwork, there's a mountain of more paperwork. So I think we kind of like procrastinated, and you know, we probably could have gotten it done 6 months earlier had we really focused on it. So it's like when they start giving you all this paperwork, and take the time and actually try to get through it as quickly as you possibly can.
Now, I know in New York City we have the 30 days for, actually, but your daughter was born in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. Yeah.
It was interesting, actually, and that's one of the things we found out. You know, every state has different rules, and do you finalize in your state or in the birth state and so forth? And we were actually, I think, very lucky in that sense that South Carolina has no waiting or revocation period. Once you sign away, you're done, and so within 24 hours, it was all over with. So I think in that sense, we kind of got lucky. But yeah, that's definitely a big unnerving process. But the second piece of advice, lawyers on both ends told us that there is that possibility, but once paperwork is signed, it becomes happen. But trust the process, I would say.
Yep, those are all great pieces of advice. All right, so now let's get back to where we started, the whole Disney thing.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm really a huge fan. I'm curious, what Disney movie are you most excited to watch with Abigail? Are you going to encourage her to watch when she's a little bit older? Are you excited to watch with her?
Well, I can tell you right now, for the last 2 weeks, it's been Moana. Moana, she asked for Moana all day, every day. We even had to buy her, she had like a luau day at her daycare, and we had to buy her like a Moana dress. So right now, yeah. I would say that, maybe hopefully we can get away from some of the cartoon movies in the future. But she's actually, she's a Disney child. Actually, our birth mother said that the photos that we took with the private photographers in Disney World, which you can do now, and I think we were the first couple to do for adoption, was one of the reasons why she picked us. She said that it caught her attention. She wanted Abby to have the life that she couldn't provide. So we do owe a lot to Disney. And she's already been on 2 Disney cruises, Disneyland and Disney World about 3 times, and she's only 2.
Wow. And you guys do not live in Florida or California. You live in New York, so that's pretty impressive.
That is correct.
I love Moana, and we still watch it with our kids.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. The music is great, and raising a daughter, it's great that there's a movie out there like Moana that teaches that men can be the sidekick and women can be the star.
Strong, independent woman. Loved it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. I know we promised you just be a 10, 12-minute thing. Is there anything else you want to add, though, while I've got you guys?
No, just that, if anyone, if people want to follow along, 2 Dads and a Mouseketeer on Instagram and Facebook. But, we wanted to continue our account to kind of show, that there are families like us, right? There's a lot of, I think, evil hatred going on right now out in the world. So if we could shed some light that, dreams do come true, right? And it is possible. So we're just glad that we could be here and to help you, Brian, engage with kids, and anything that we can do, please, please let us know.
And that goes for Disney advice too. We are happy to share our insights. We both have full-time jobs, but we do travel planning as well as a side business. So we're happy to assist. Would give us no greater joy, I think, than helping some gay dads and families make that dream come true in Disney parks or Disney Cruise Line or anywhere really in the world. Okay,
that's awesome. Well, thanks so much. It was great to see you guys, and I'll be linking to your channel so anyone can see pictures of the 3 of you and meet the little Musketeer as well. Yes. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your summer, guys.
Thank you. You too. Have a good night. This was great.
Bye.
Good night.